All right. What's up, traders? How's it going? How's it going, my friends? Welcome to another stream. Today, it's going to be a little bit about explaining one interesting setup which I have taken recently, and it's actually this one, right? So, hello, Green Squad, my friend. Right, so it's basically this Bitcoin. It's a Model 2, not Model 2, right? And that was a setup which I have taken. Bit about explaining one interesting. Sorry. So it's the setup which I have taken in here, right, with my group, and it basically is heading higher, right? So the setup is basically this range, and this is a continuation, right? So let me show you where we are right now, right? So price is going higher. So we are right now at this stage where it's quite difficult to take a new setups, right? Because you need to see a pullback. So we will see if we're gonna get this pullback today, and I will explain you everything how I came into this setup, where I entered, right? What was the reason? What I've been doing in this moment? What was my decision? How I came into this level? Why I didn't enter in here? Why I waited for this? Pullbacks, and I will also explain you the whole structure of this setup, right? So basically right now, as I told you, this is a model 2 which we're trading right now. There was also a model number 1 which I have traded also, and it's not just something which I'm telling you, but it's basically all documented here on the trading view. So here was that model number 1. Now it's loading, right? So here's the model number 1, and basically the price is moving in our range, right, after the manipulation. And then if you remember that structure, on specific moment there is a model number 2 which we're trading right now, right? So obviously we will also look at some potential trade setups. Only what I have problem at this stage with trading some short-term setups is that basically on a bigger picture, I am bullish in here, right? I think we will go higher, but at this moment to enter the buy, I think it's too high, and short it would be against my trend, right? So shame that we are not just like here, right? So you cannot join this trade at this moment, but we will be watching if we're gonna get this pullback, right? So first, I'm going to analyze what's happening right now in here, and we will look if we can get some setup, and if we get it, we will simply enter it right now. If not, we will not enter, right? Every day is a not trading day, even though that it is basically a day trading, right? So let me analyze it from the beginning, right? So in here, what has happened is basically that we had our range, right? We had this down candle which has dipped below a liquidations, which I've been talking about the previous week, right? And then we had again manipulation in here, which is basically my CLS candle pattern, right? Yeah, model 1 rules, my friend. And in here, we have closed above this candle, right? It's a daily candle. So for the better, even better close, we should see close above all of these consecutive candles, right? But anyway, we're getting close above this, right? And it's basically confirming the bullishness. So what we're waiting for right now, we do not want to enter here, because what's mostly happening is that we're gonna see a pullback into a gap and then continuation, right? So we could potentially enter this short. Now let me show you what I'm expecting on the lower time frame that will happen, right? Look here. What is happening here? Look, this high and this high, right? Relatively equal highs, right? We can write it here, right? So what is this equal highs? It's basically a double top, right? So what's gonna happen here is going to be liquidity. When liquidity will be here? Once the people will start to short here, and when they will do it, right? Let me take you to the 1 hour. And basically the market makers, those who control the price, they always do the things, they always put the illusion of the support or the resistance at some moment, right? So here is the double top, right? Okay, it's good because people see it. They see, oh, okay, it's a double top, let's short it. But when they will short it, they will short it at the moment once this trend line breaks, right? So once this trend line breaks, they will give them the short, right? So traders will most likely short, right? And it's fine. You can short it for some limited amount of the time. But where these people will put stop losses, some of them here, some of them here, because yes, we are in the bigger bullish downtrend, sorry, bearish downtrend, and we will most likely see lower prices. But if you look at the price from the bigger perspective, we are quite low, right? And as you can see, nothing is going straight down, right? And same as it was in here, right? They went higher above the range and then they fall down, right? Now we're creating this range. We will go higher above this range and then they will sell it, right? You do not want to be selling the low. You want to be selling the high, the false breakout, right? And this is what we're trading right now. We are now trading this thing, right? Then we turn bearish again, right? Most likely. So the fact that I am bullish at this moment here on this low, I am not expecting this, right? Of course, long term as an investor, I am bullish, right? Uh, I expect the higher prices, right? But the short term, definitely not, right? How do I, how do I identify liquidity in here? Well, look, that's a logical thing, right? You have these double tops. That's what the traders are usually using as their, sorry, as their levels for to putting these things, right? We can also look, and I'm sometimes doing it. Let's check it right now quickly into this, right? Here you basically have the liquidations, and let me take the 30 minutes time frame, maybe, right? And you can see here was the trade has been liquidated in here, right? So here was liquidations. If you bring 2 hours, we will see that I don't know if it's storing such a history right in here. So you can see in here you have this is a this is liquidations, right? In here you can see where they are above the double top, right? So they already here, this liquidation side. Yes, you can see liquidity also in here, but this is most likely a spoofing, right? Why? What is a spoofing? This is a basically the positions from the big players, they put them in here, right? Because traders thinking that we will go lower, right? But no, the price action saying it differently, right? And you can see right now, as the price started consolidating in here, right? Once this breaks lower, right, this false break, the color of the liquidity in here will be growing, right? So even though that I'm not watching this, but I know that people use the double top, right? You see, they have like there is a liquidity above it, right? And once this happen, right, there will be even more, right? So I'm going to show you right now what I want to trade, and uh, yeah. So basically, we know the double top here will most likely will be liquidity. And we see it in there, right? Look at this. Here's another double top. You see, right? Relatively equal, right? So this is giving an illusion of a resistance, right? This put into the people's mind, okay, price is rejected, it will not go there anymore. Price is rejected, it will not go there anymore. It's a strong resistance. Let's short it and let's hide my stop loss in there. And to be sure, let's hide it in here also, right? So what's happening in that moment when the price is breaking in here, right? The stop loss cluster is growing in here and in here also, right? So why the price has been rejected in here, right? It's been rejected because that basically they bringing they setting the liquidity in here, right? So at this moment, I believe there will be short opportunity, but don't count it like this, right? You can short it until like this, right? So you can do some short-term short, right? And as I said, it's a counter trend setup, right? So let's go lower time frame and let's see if it's something in there, right? What I see in here and what I really like is that if I bring the Ethereum also, right, we can see a quite nice divergence. Not only that the Ethereum also has broke through the some quite nice highs, right? but also it has created the level, right? It rejected, and in here we can see the divergence, right? So basically the Ethereum has made higher high, right? And Bitcoin has made a lower low, right? So that means that the Bitcoin is kind of weaker in here, right? So in my opinion, the short would be possible in here, right? So we just need to find, we just need to basically take a good setup and short it, right? And I wouldn't overcomplicate it, right? But I'm not gonna bet too much on this trade, right? So basically what I'm going to do, as the Bitcoin has rejected this, Ethereum has made high in here, but Bitcoin has failed to make it to do so, right? In that's at this moment, I think that the Bitcoin will most likely not go higher above this high, right now. And as I said, we can short it, but I wouldn't be shorting it too low, right? If I measure this swing, here's a 50%, right? And here, if we look at this 4 hours, right, you can see here is a down candles, right, which are basically giving us a what do you base your right, which are giving us basically a green, right, the order block, right. So this is what we have, right. Let's go lower time frame, right. You see we breaking through the trend line already, and the great thing is that it's also a Thursday. The Thursdays are usually full of the dumps, right. So um right, I believe I don't like to be shorting this low, right. But this looks like this is the case, right? So I'm basically going to do that with the small risk. I already have it prepared in here for the small risk, right? We will see, right? Not gonna bet on this too much because my main trend was to the upside, right? And that's what I'm expecting in here, right? So I'm gonna go short in here. I'm gonna put my stop above these highs. I'm gonna target a this, right, which will be giving me, right, kind of 1 to 2 risk rewards, right, which is not bad. 1 to 2, right. Let's test it, right. Let's test this trade. 1 to 2, right. Yeah, order block SMC. Short it now. What do you base your entry on? This one is basically expect that that the price will be dumping in here, right. I believe it's gonna be happening, right. Let's watch. So we want to what I'm looking for right now is this order flow, right? And it's good. Here's a good bias. Okay, 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 okay. It looks good. Right. So going for the 0.7% risk into this trade, right? And this trade, as I'm saying, right, this is not like a typical my strategy trade. This is the one which I'm going to explain right now. But I believe here is a potential for the drop, right? Not only that we have the order blocks in here, but in here, as I said, right, Bitcoin has failed to make the higher high while the Ethereum was making it and was rejected. And also the Ethereum, what it did in here, right? But also what Ethereum did in here is, let me show you, right? Because Ethereum yesterday has made something like 10%, right? Look at this, right? Ethereum was shooting above all of these things. So let's see how it goes, right? Seems like it's going to dump, right? We will be watching this, and meanwhile, I want to explain you those main trades, the model 1 and model 2, right? Here on the okay, so let's go to I'm going to move this, or actually I can change the a second. So I just want to make want to be sure that let's see, it's a little bit moving. Right, what I'm going to do today, I will definitely be taking a partials very quickly, right? Let's see, it's dumping. Let's dump it. Right, looks good. But as said, I'm definitely going to take off the stuff as soon as possible, right? So like 25% now, right? Because we still go trading against the new trend, new pump, right? So not here in this situation, it's not a point to being a hero, right? But taking the profits and make some money on that. So if my stop is hit now, it's gonna be 400, right? And I closed 200, right? So let's leave it and let's go to the trader and the idea which I want to explain you, right? I will change the what I'm watching in here, right? And I will be explaining a little bit, right? The model number 1 and model number 2. I'm seeing it, this setup on my other screen, right? So no worry, I will be updating you, but and I also guess I also guess that you may be watching it uh, on your screens also, right? So that looks good. That is a simple trade, right? This is really after the such a pump, right? This trend line break working, right? But never do the trend line breaks when you have these double tops, and never target this, right? They give a chance, but not much, right? So let's leave it. Right, maybe, well, let's not move the stop yet, but let's just reduce it, right? So right now we have it like this, right? So if the stop is gonna be minus 280, right? And I already closed something, so really reducing my position, right? Good to know. Do you have some trading strategy logic for getting funding for the purpose? Yes, exactly, my friend. So let me show you, and I'm just going to close another partial again, right? Because in this situation, I really want to be, so now I'm basically almost risk-free, right? I have closed what I am risking right now, and this will either work or not, right? So let's go to break down this trade setup in here, right? I will click to grab this chart, and now I will have it all with these drawings. right? And I want to explain you how I actually came into the interesting level in here, but I don't know why it didn't do such a level. Okay, anyway, so let's delete everything in here, and I'm going to break it down completely from for you how I came into that trade, which was this one as a model number one, right? And then later this model number two, right? Because both of these are basically part of the structure, which is this, right? So let me show you, and I will show you this on a completely new chart, right? In here. So what I usually do is, and the most important thing for me is to find, right, what's going on. So I start on the 6 months, right, in here. And in here, we basically had this range, right, which was kind of manipulated, and we basically start to move inside and trade lower, right? So that's for me a signal that basically we will go lower, right? We knew about this, that the price will hit a specific level, 67. We knew it quite early, right? Let me show you when, that I'm not just saying that, but um, in the October in here, you can see I had this range in here, and I was saying that if the price will close below this order block, we will see 70K, right? Specifically 67K, right? This level, right? And this is where we are trading right now from that setup, right? So you can see I was able to predict this already in November, right? Now, this is not any special skill. That's what I'm going to show you right now how to do it, right? So, what it is? Where is my chart? Here, right? So how do I do that, right? So there's nothing easier than basically measuring this as a Fibonacci, right? And setting up this as a dealing range, which is a 50%, right? And now it divides that swing into a 50%. And the candle, I call it a transition candle, which took us from a discount, which is this below 50%, to the premium, is this candle, right? So below it, that liquidity, it's a transition candle, right? And this is where always price is hitting, right? So now if we put it in here, you see is that 66, 67, right? Basically that level, right? So this is where we came in here, right? And in here, as said, nothing is goes straight down, nothing goes straight up, right? So I am expecting that after this manipulation of this, the price will most likely reach this low, right? What is in here? Let me take you again to the 6 months, right? But you can see, what is this? This is a order block, right? You see? And it's below this liquidity, right? So most likely, in my opinion, this will be a low before we go to, uh, I do not want to predict, right? So, but it will not happen like this, right? They will again trap the traders and then they will send it down, right? So something like this, maybe, right? Here is that 50%, here is a gap, right? And then sending it down, right? And in here, most likely some exchange will collapse, right? People will be panicking. It's the end of the crypto, end of the world, and whatever will be happening to put everyone into the panic, right? So this is our level, right? That's where we are. Now let's go to the daily. On a daily, as we came into that level, right? Let me show you the thing, right? In here, we always looking for a range, right? Here is a range, right? Range being manipulated, we close inside, then we targeting 50%, and then on the pullback, we targeting another model to another full range, right? So where we are right now, look, right? So you have a range, this one that hits that level. You see it? You got a range, the price manipulated, right? So what's basically happening in here, right? Uh, in here, where the price was dropping lower, it was looking very bad, right? This candle brings people to FOMO, right? They want to sell it. In here, in the second candle, which is bullish in here, right? In this moment, right, in some specific moment, this candle which has opened in here, it was looking also bearish. Now it looks bullish because it's closed, but at the moment, at the specific moment, when this candle has opened, it went down like this. There was these two red candles, right? This There was two red candles, right? Look, I see the trade is pulling back, right? Watch it. See, pulling back. Let's put the stop of to the break even, right? For to be sure that we end with the something at least, right? Putting it to the break even, right? And what's gonna happen in here? It will either start to drop from here, or it can go higher, right? Protecting the capital in here, right? That's the most important thing in the prop trading. Let's go back in here. We still in a trade. Okay, let's watch it. Let me finish the idea in here, right? So we have this range manipulated. If this range occurs on a level, right? We got a level here. That's our daily range, right? Daily. So what we have to do, we need to look on the 1 hour. So I'm dropping to the 1 hour right now, right? And in here, I'm waiting for that manipulation on the 1 hour and close inside, which was basically this, right? This is a creation of the order block of this down candle. And in this moment, when we close inside, I can be entering the trade and targeting the highs, right? These highs, mostly the highs above a 50%, right? That's the trade, right? This is the thing. This is what you trade in here. And this is exactly what I have predicted in this moment, right? You see, you get a candle, you have closed inside, right? In here, I posted it on the 30 minutes, but you need this confirmation on the 1 hour. Once you have it, this is your base that you can enter and you can be targeting these highs, right? Watch, right? I'm not telling you just some hindsight story and theory. This is what's the actionable, tradable plan, right? You see, it's going there, right? That's what I've been able to predict in here. And then when this happened, and the final highs of this range is not hit, then you can get that potential setup on that model number 2, right? What does it mean, model number 2? Model number 2 basically means that the price makes the pullback, right, in here and give you another setup, right? Why? Because what has happened in here? In this moment, those people who shorted, they have hidden their stop losses somewhere. Where? Above this range high, right? Above the daily high. Daily highs is always full of the stop losses, right? So that could be in there. And then they've been ranging, right? And then the price starts to break slower again, right? Breaking lower, right? So another sellers are entering. More stop losses growth in here, right? Yep. Right. So, okay, trade is still in. We are on. We have it on the break even, right? I don't trust too much to be trading against the trend, right? So I'll rather get out on the break even, right? So let me take it back up here. right? So that was happening here, right? Price went higher, created high, right? And at this moment, I'm basically taking the fib, right, in here, and I set it up like this to get the 61.8 and the 0.8. And this is where I would be looking for the another entry in that zone, right? And you can see prices came into that zone, right? This is the zone. I can highlight it like this, right? That's the zone where I should be looking for a setup, right? Now let me show you something. If I go to the daily, right? If I go to the daily, what has occurred in here again, right? You see that's completely same setup. You have the big down candle which is creating the FOMO, candle which is dipping below lows, below a liquidations, right? Liquidity, right? I congratulations, my friend, with the passing. Right? And you see, the same thing is happening in here. But right now, so what's happening in here? I got the one range, right? Model 1 is playing in here. It has moved, right? And then it's going down. And this is model 2 in here. And I'm targeting these highs, right? But also, I have the another range in here, which is giving me a model number 1 in here, right? So I basically have the model number 1 in the model 2 zone, right? So watch this. In here, I know I'm in the model 2 zone, and I'm going to drop it to the lower time frame. And on this lower time frame, again, I'm waiting. But I don't need to wait for the bigger confirmation. For me, the enough confirmation in here is this, right? And I can enter. Now I am more confident, right? And I can be targeting this, right? Even if I enter like that, I can be targeting this as a first target, right? Because it's a 50% of this and this range high, right? But also I can believe that this has the chance to happen, right? But that would mean that you have to survive that ugly pullback, right? Which is going to happen right now, right? That is probably happening. So we are still in the position. We will see how it goes, right? So yeah, and this is how you play that game. So trading is not complicated. Only thing you need to know is having some structure, right? Which is repeatable, mechanical, which removes any subjective decisions, and definitely not doing some diagonal trading, trend lines, and such other things, right? In prop trading, you also need to keep good risk management, right? Now look at this, what you can do with such a structure, right? Which I'm, by the way, teaching if you're interested. And what you can do in here, right? How you manage the trades. Let me show you something. This is interesting because you got two setups. In one range, you got two setups, right? So let's say you enter in here and you're risking a $100, right? You have 1 to 2 risk reward. If it hits your take profit in here, you close it, you get 200, right? Then what can happen? Price can go higher and you don't get any opportunity. Fine, you earned 200. But sometimes, as it happens right now, price come back and give you another opportunity in here. You already earned 200. Now in here, you're going to risk 100. What can happen? It will go down, you lose 100. So from this 200, you have only 100 profit, right? But you are still in the profit. But if it goes up, this setup is usually at least 1 to 3 RR. So you can, from this 100 risk, earn another 300, right? So you can make in total 500. But you've been risking 100, and the second trade is basically risk free because you already have 200. And if you win it, you can earn more, or you lose just 100. So your profit will be 100, right? So that's gonna be like that, right? Do you apply on your challenges as well? Yeah, of course. This is what I trade, right? I have just one strategy. I don't do more things, right? This trade what I have open right now today is not exactly my strategy, right? This is kind of the things, as I said, right? The subjective trend lines, the things, right? But it seems like the dump is going to happen, right? And you see, we already closed something, we got something, right? Maybe we're gonna end in the break even. Um, I don't know, right? But yeah, this is what I'm showing you in here. That's what I'm applying on my Profund challenges, right? And from Hyro already bit through more than 55K, right? I mean, it's not that much, but it's still great money, right? If you compare how much you spent for the challenges, right? So yeah, let's see, right? I think this short will be overcrowded right now, right? Because everyone see this trend line, right? Everyone will be trying to short it in here. Everyone is bearish on the Bitcoin right now. We will see. We will see. So yeah, this is how I'm doing. How many prop accounts? Yeah, so currently I got a 100K in the prop in the Hyro. I had a 200K, but I lost one. That's a normal thing, right? If you basically doing the thing, sometimes you lose the account. Don't fo- don't expect, guys, that in a prop trading you basically pass the challenge and that's the end of the game, right? At some points you lose accounts, right? That's happening because uh, in the fact uh, your prop trading account has a maximum 10% loss, right? That means that you are not trading 100K, but you trading like a 10K, right? And you cannot trade it like a pussy to risk 1% from a 10K, right? From the 10%. You need to be doing a bigger risk, right? I mean, risking 1%. So if you're risking 1% per trade, you basically betting everything on a 10 trades, right? So that's the thing. So at some points you lose the accounts, and that is how it works, right? So I believe I will make some another accounts, right? Again, also I'm trading own capital and also some forex prop firms. I do not want to speak about them right now, but I can show some results from my own capital, right? So in here, this is my last my two accounts. So for this month, obviously it's a live, right? Both are live accounts. So this month I'm closing in here with the 13%, which is 9,500. And this one I'm closing with the 66%, right? Which is 33K. That's this BTC trade, right? Yesterday. That's the one which made me the most money on my live personal account, right? You can see the entries was at 63K, 63, and I closed it at the 68, 67, right? 66. I've been taking some partial profits, right? 5K, 4K, 4K, right? Overall, like it's some kind of like a 20K in here, right? So yeah, what is that tool? That is a this is a this is a Forex Factory, right? So you can basically connect your account in here and it's counting all your promos. Yeah, yeah, of course I have a promo. You can open. I think I still got a 10% discount with my link. So you can open an account, you can buy the challenge with my links, and it's a 10% discount, my friends. If you're interested, definitely go for that. And yeah, so the trade is running. We will see, right? So what's the next steps for me here on the Bitcoin? I will be going hard on the longs, right? And it's gonna be somewhere around here. And let me show you what I think could be a could be a situation in here. I have actually shared it in here as I described that situation. Right? This is gonna be the thing. Let me use it. Let me do it this way so we see it better. Right? This is what I'm expecting to be happening, right? So the price to the liquidity in here is going high, right? It closed, right? Now, what's going to be happening, in my opinion, right now, we got this trend line break, right? This is happening right now. I've been predicting this already because this pattern is happening still over and over, right? So you got this trend line. We are now in here, right? It will go lower, right? It will give some move, right? As it is probably still giving right now. Let me bring back the PTC. Right, it's going lower. You see, our trade is kind of in a profit, right? Not bad. So it will be going lower. And so what is it? It's a trend line break, right? So people are shorting like us right now. They will be putting the stop losses higher, even above these double tops, right? Once this low is broken, maybe it will pull back and break another low, right? That will be another confirmation for the traders to short because there's going to be a second low broken, right? Let's short it again, right? So more stop losses will be occurring in here on the top, right? And in my opinion, in this, right, order block and also in this gap, right? Sorry, I didn't want this. I want this side. In this gap, when that happens, right, it's gonna be something like it's gonna be like down, maybe retest of the trend line, and then another low, right, broken. Once that gets back, right, I will be interested to go long, right? Because why? Because below this second low broken, below this one, right, there will be people trapped in the shorts, right? And that will be situation when these highs will have a lot of liquidity, and that's where I would like to go long against them, right? That's what I will be looking for in here. So right now we have this short-term short, and we will see how it goes. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say today, right? So we could be watching the trade for some time. And if anyone has some questions, just drop it now. It might not even reach the recommended taking several profits. Yeah, my friend, we will see. We will see. We have a time right now because it's just a open of the New York session, right? At the 15:30, and the first hour is usually a like kind of like an initial balance, right? So we have the open at right. So in here, right? So here we get the break. So definitely, let's go take some partial again, right? Let's take something off, right? You see this break? That's where the people are interested. Shorting, right? Shorting. Right, so what I wanted to say is that basically we have, this is also the range, right? Same as I'm trading these ranges, this is the range. So let me edit it a little bit. Right, that's the range. So let's watch this range. This is a shallow, right? They will maybe break a little bit lower. But I'm not definitely considering to going long now, right? It's too soon. But also being in a short is not even the, I'm not saying the bad idea, right? There will be that pullback. You can see it's pullbacking right in here. And it was beautiful in here because we have seen that false break, right? So those traders who entered in here, they also hide, right? This is always, we must always be thinking, right? Who is in the trade, right? Who entered it late, right? So you can just trade on the stream and maybe pass the challenge, right? Yeah, maybe you can. Do you have upcoming streams? Yeah, I got streams, my friend, every Thursday. This time, every Thursday, you can meet me in here, right? Let me just quickly I cannot move this here. Sorry. I just wanted to close. Okay. All right, all right.